Alabama now has the strictest immigration law in the country. Two key aspects of the new law have been upheld by a federal judge. I'm joined now by Maria Teresa Kumar, MSNBC contributor and executive director of Voto Latino. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
So what does this mean? What's this new law mean?
Well, it's actually, the New York Times called it the cruelest immigration law across the country, meaning that it's incredibly strict. So, for example, one is if you are a student, you have to actually show your immigration papers. Number two, you actually have to, if you're walking around and you have to have immigration papers at all times. Dancing, one thing that people don't realize is that of the 50 million Latinos in the U.S., 60% of them are U.S. born. How are they going to get federal immigration papers to demonstrate that they truly are American citizens?
Yeah.
And part of the problem, too, is unfortunately it creates it actually has a huge backlash against labor, big business, and also a lot of different parts of Alabama that are trying to rebuild after the hurricane, because they currently have a labor shortage, but people are literally fleeing just out of fear of being racially profiled.
Yeah, Alabama Republicans, though, argue that their goal, quote, has always been to make sure Alabama jobs and taxpayer-funded resources are going to legal Alabama residents.
And one, it should, but it also is, because it's such a strict law enforcement themselves were against this legislation. Clergy was against this legislation. Agricultural businesses were against this legislation, because you don't know just by looking at someone whether they're undocumented or not. And what this actually demonstrates and shows to the administration is that they need to pass comprehensive immigration reform at the federal level, and Congress has to sit down and roll up their sleeves, because otherwise economies are going to be devastated, families are going to be separated, but more importantly, we're going to actually create a police state that Alabama has been trying to shy away from the history of their civil rights movement. I mean, it's almost as if they haven't learned anything, learned their lesson. And there's a deep hypocrisy with Republicans, because at one time they say that they don't believe in government regulation, but yet here they're trying to decide who should be working and who the big business should actually be hiring.
All right, Maria Teresa Kumar, thanks so much.
Thank you.